Hey, how's it going? This is Johnny, and welcome to another episode at Rosa Studios. How to stage a fight scene. What I'm going to do is break it down, make it as simple as I can, and show you guys exactly what I did to make it happen. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The more likes, the more we can actually get these videos promoted and in front of the right people. So the first thing I did was I looked online for pictures of James Harden and pictures of Lebron James. Even though I have a good memory of each character because I love the NBA, you know, the NBA playoffs is here, and that's why I'm actually taking these two characters and putting them up against each other. So I looked up online, found the best pictures of their face, them yelling, them with different emotions, just to make sure that I draw enough inspiration from the right places that I need them to be. This is going to be your guide for making your characters look as close to the source material as possible. If you're an artist that's hired to work on something, you want to make sure that you know exactly how to use what they give you, and then you put it in your own style, or you put it in the style that they need in the moment. The second thing you want to do is make sure that the pose that you use for the characters are dynamic. What you're going to see in this illustration is I'm going to make sure that I put the characters juxtaposed to each other. They're both going to look like they have even ground, and it's going to make it a little more appealing because you want to see what happens next. Those are the kind of scenes that you're going to really promote and put in front of people. The third thing you want to do is make sure that you take inspiration from who they are and add it to their outfit. Because these are NBA players, I customized their costume by their NBA teams, making them more recognizable but also more unique. So I'm not just taking a jersey, I'm customizing, I'm putting something on them similar to armor so you can really feel like they're battling one another. What I wanted to do was to make them feel bigger than they normally are, giving them special abilities that obviously they don't have in real life, but to make the illustration more interesting. And I want to try out some new things, some things I don't really do as much. Afterwards, I got some people's opinions. I asked them who did they think was in this illustration. They actually named the two people for me perfectly. Oh, that's James Harden. Oh, that's LeBron James. So I knew I was on the right path, but now I had to bring it home. Making sure that their proportions are correct, that their anatomy is correct, that they don't look a little wonky. They look like soldiers or warriors, because we know our athletes nowadays are common warriors. They're the people that push their bodies as far as they possibly can. The fifth thing that I did was I added special effects. So what you're going to see is I'm going to add some kind of energy around James Harden's hands. I'm going to add some energy to the gauntlets of LeBron James eventually, and you're going to be able to see how these special effects really brings the illustration home, because I wanted them to feel like they were in this superhuman battle, which athletes really are, because like I said, they push their bodies to the brink, so they're giving us the best versions of themselves. The next thing I did was I added the little details. I know that LeBron James is known as an Iron Man in the NBA, which means that he plays so many games, he barely gets hurt, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt. You know, we never want to see anything like that. We want people to be at their best when they're going up against each other. We also know of James Harden being someone who shoots a lot of threes, who's a great shooter. Because of games like 2K and NBA Live, I wanted him to have some kind of green aura eventually around his hands, almost like him shooting a shot in some of these games. So as you can see, I'm taking little things that I know about them and I'm adding it to the piece. I want people to be able to relate to them as best as possible, but also realize this is something that I drew, not something that they see all the time. It was important for me to really add myself into this illustration, and you should do the same thing. When you're setting the stage for a really good fight scene, make sure that they know this is your fight scene, that you're not just taking it from somewhere else, but you're actually putting it all together. You want people to be able to follow what you're doing and make sure it flows together. The last thing you want to do is make your artwork against itself. If you ever notice in sports, when a person scores or after they score in their respective sport, they usually yell or give some kind of excitement, a lot of emphasis on what they did or what they're about to do. Really hyping themselves up, but also hyping up the crowd, hyping up the people that watches what they're doing. And that energy that they put into it is another reason why you give off such a strong reaction when you're watching it. I want to make sure I did the same thing in this illustration. With these things that I'm going over now, if you just take a couple of them, you can really put it in your work, but also you can make your work go to the next level. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. In part 2, I'm going to go over the color schemes and the special effects that I used in the illustration, just to bring it all home and make it a lot more exciting. The thing we wanted to do was to break it into 2 parts so you guys can really understand what we did. Comment below what you want to see next. We have a lot of videos coming, and your suggestion is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. It's not hard, just press it. It only takes 2 seconds, and you're going to get a lot more back for just hitting that bell one time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I know this video was pretty long, but don't forget we have videos every Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. and Tuesdays are optionals at 7 p.m. We can't wait to see you guys there, and we hope you guys have a great time.